Hey guys, in the previous video we left off with basically having the car disassembled. We took everything from the part of the dash that was necessary to be taken off, as well as the central armrest that's gone as well. So I managed to procure the central cage, but there was a little bit of a setback because originally when I started this project I basically ordered a bunch of parts that should have fitted here, and I got this one. I got this cage. This cage is supposedly from a CLK Coupe facelift version. However, that wasn't really the case. I tried to fiddle with it, but as you can see, it's actually from a W203 sedan. So this cage is wider and taller than the regular cage for this car. So I had to find a new one. And so I did. This is the new cage. As you can see in a side-by-side comparison, the new cage is not as wide and also not as tall. So it will fit all of the components that we have and we need to fit in here. So let's get started. Let's try and put this thing on. Oh, and here is the part number. I'll just show that to you, and I will also post in the video description below. This is the part number for a facelifted cage. Okay, so it's basically the reverse of the removal process. Basically we need to put the cage back in, starting from the bottom and pushing it left so that it can go into these pins, and then we have to put the little screws back in. I'll do that off camera as it will be difficult to do with one hand, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. So I did manage to fit the new cage in. I did have to cut a little piece of the trim right here because otherwise it wouldn't clear the screw. So I just took the pliers and I just twisted that around and it came out. So now everything seems to line up. All of the bolt holes do line up. I also routed the cables, the radio cables here, antenna, the cable for the accessories, and the hazard light switch, which I showed you how to rewire in the last video. And here right underneath are also the stock climate controls, the cables for the climate controls, which are stock. They remain unmodified and they will fit plug and play to the facelifted version of that climate control. So next thing is put in the screws that we can, and we'll go on next with installing also the glove box. Okay, so I've put the screws that I can. Here obviously we cannot put a screw because there's no longer a hole here. The hole is moved up here. If you want, you can put a screw and a washer on it. I don't really think that's necessary because this thing is already quite sturdy. Considering it will be connected also on this side to the trim of the car, doesn't really matter. Do take note that the bolts that go here, 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 and also the one that we'll be putting here next with the glove box compartment assembly, they do have washers on them. Also the screws just look a little bit different than these ones. These ones are bigger. They look something like this. These are the ones that go here, on this side, here and here. It looks like this. The other ones that I just put here on the top look like this. They are pointier on this side, and they also have a washer on them. They are the ones that go here, here, here and here. Okay, so now I will be putting on the glove box back, which also came out with all of this trim here. This will be next. I will put it on and we'll see how it goes. I'll show the screw locations when I put the glove box in. One more thing before you continue with putting on the glove box assembly in, please make sure that you put the vent on this side, the one that we took off. it is this vent right here. It just goes in like this, snaps into place here, and then snaps into place right there, because if you forget it like I did, you will be taking the glove box out again. So now we can finally proceed with actually putting on the glove box for the last time. Don't forget also to plug in this electrical connection to here. This is for your glove box light. If you forget that, again, you will be taking the glove box out again. So let's put in the glove box. So the glove box is now installed. As you can see, I have taken the lid off just to make it easier for installation. I will show you how to put the lid back on. It's the same, taking it off is exactly the same thing. It's very easy. So now again, putting this piece, all of it on, it has one screw here by the storage cubby, another here. I did have to cut again a little piece of the trim here just to clear out this screw location. Again, you can put a screw if you want here, but I don't think it's necessary. It's already pretty sturdy. Again, we have a couple of screws here on the top. Here you can see this one, and one more right in there. One screw here, and there are also a couple of screws that go underneath, but we will leave those for later. Just as a side note, when you do put in the cage, make sure that here this piece of trim clips in this place, and here there is also, when you attach the glove box assembly, it also has to attach to this piece here. With this, there's a little tooth that needs to snap in place. So that's basically it. Now we will continue on with the installation of the lid itself. Okay, so installing the lid on the glove box is quite easy. As you can see, there are these little guides here and here, and I basically have to go attached to this piece right here and also this one right here. So you basically go ahead and put that thing in like this. It's a little bit more difficult to do with one hand, but you basically push that thing in there, and as you can see now, this little ridge is actually preventing the glove box from going in. So you just pull it a bit to the side, and then the glove box is attached. Now there is one more little piece that sticks out here. The idea behind it is that when you open the glove box, there is support not only on this side by the little ridge that we saw, but also on this side. And let me find it real quick. So here it is. This is the little piece that I took off camera the first time. As you can see, it is the same on both sides. So you just go ahead and basically snap that thing in there just like this until you hear the click. And now when you open the glove box, it's supported here, it's supported right here, and it opens and closes without problem. However, as you can see, the glove box opens up, swings wide open, and there is nothing helping it to go in and out smoother. So when I was taking the glove box out, there is actually one little piece that I also took off camera. It is this. So how this works is like, it's a little shock absorber that basically goes in here on this part right here. So this goes here, it fits from the inside and simply twists, and here on the back, on the bottom part, you just have this thing basically attaching like that, and there is a small plastic pin that also needs to be attached there. So I will also attach this little shock absorber, and we will be back to see how it actually works and fits. So here it is. It just fits right here in, and here is the little arm that extends. You have to compress it, put it in here and just pull on it and it will come right down. Here is the little pin that will off. Once everything is assembled, you just go ahead and install the little pin back, just like that, until you hear the snap. And now you can open and close the glove box and it goes silky smooth up and down. Now we have to attach the glove box to the bottom part. As you can see, there is also a piece that's missing from underneath here, and that piece is the little piece that I have here by the other side of the car. It is this piece of plastic trim. How this goes in, and it basically has this little hook right here. So you go up and in, and you basically attach it. I will do that off camera, as it's difficult to do with one hand, and I will be back to show you the screw locations for the glove box underneath. But actually, as you can see them here. There is one screw location here and another here. So basically, when you put this thing up and have it hooked in, basically there is a screw that goes through here to the top, and one through the from the bottom to the top, that attaches through the glove box into the chassis itself. I'll do that off camera and show you the end result. Now the glove box is finally in. Here are the bolts, one right here, but on the other side this part is also attached. And now the last piece to the glove box is putting this plastic piece of trim, which goes here on the side. It's easier if you just put the glove box down and, like installing it, it goes in and snaps into place if it's not broken like mine. So the next thing is finishing up the center console. As you can see, there are lots and lots of parts here. I have to clean everything up and put in the central console back in with the armrest. So that's the next step. I will do a little bit of cleaning here, maybe take 5 minutes off, have a drink of water, and then I will start with all of this. See you guys back when I've cleaned up and the central console, which is right here, is ready to be bolted on and installed properly. So I cleared things up here a bit, and I was managed to put in the central console with the armrest back in. It's quite easy. You just be mindful of the fact that there is a small metal ridge underneath this piece here, the piece that's sticking out, and it needs to fit in there, and also the metal clips that are here on either side and need to be tightened with the bolts. So now basically is tighten this bolt right here. There are also two bolts that go in, two 10mm bolts, one here, also one there and one there, and this piece is installed. So I'll tighten those bolts, put the bolts that are missing now, and we'll be back to continue on with the reassembly of this car. Just as a side note, these longer bolts, the longer ones go in here. They stay right there, and the shorter ones, these ones go here in the back. These go here, longer's in the front. Okay, so with the 10mm bolts tightened, so the silver ones, the longer ones, go here in the front, and the black ones go here in the back. We can put in this piece of carpeting again back here where it was, hiding those bolts. Now they're nice and hidden. There was this electrical connection, the 2-pin one. Here it is. We have to plug that in. That is for the little light right here. If you forget to plug in, no lights. This one, the purple one, is for the sport and comfort mode of the automatic transmission, so don't forget to plug that in as well. I will plug in these now, so I'll plug this one in and then we'll continue on with the installation of the other things. So I plugged in this little connector right here for the light. I tucked it right in there, and I remember that there are two more T20 bolts that need to go here. Those hold the central piece with the armrest to this cage right here, so we'll need to put in those two T20 bolts on either side as well. So now with the two bolts T20s here tightened and the T40s on either side tightened, we can go ahead and put on these plastic pieces right here. They just basically go under and snap into place. Here is the other one. So it has these little tabs, you just go like this and snap it into place. The radio which I have chosen for this little project is this guy right here. Why? Because it's a very nice, very modern radio. It has all of the possibilities and it comes with this nice holder for your phone. So basically what this can do is it has an app from Pioneer, which is on the App Store for iOS and on the Google Play Store, and it basically can turn your normal radio into a radio with navigation, which is always up to date. So this is why I have chosen this. Otherwise, there is the possibility to go with an Audio 20, original Mercedes Audio 20 from the facelifted version of the CLK. But even though I wanted to go with that to keep everything original, the one that I got also turned out to be from a W203 sedan. Unfortunately, it doesn't fit right, and my wife decided that she wants something a little bit more modern with more possibilities anyway. So this is why we have gone with this guy. So supposedly it should basically plug into the standard connectors on the CLK, because those are the standard CAN bus connectors, but we will see if